Unresolved problem segment tonight. Germany is leading the league in taking in refugees from the Middle East. But on New Year's Eve, reports say several hundred Semitic-looking men ran around in packs. Some of those men abused German women in the city of Cologne.
Das, was in Köln am Hauptbahnhof und an anderen Plätzen in Deutschland geschehen ist, ist nicht hinnehmbar. Es darf sich nicht wiederholen. Und die Täter müssen bestraft werden.
But German authorities have made no arrests at all, even though 2 women now say they were raped. Joining us on the phone from Cologne, Germany, London Times correspondent Alan Hall. So what really happened here, Mr. Hall?
It was a mob of about 1,000 men we are told by the victims and by the eyewitnesses, of Arabic or Middle Eastern-looking appearance. They rampaged through the main station in the square outside next to the famous Gothic cathedral. They fired fireworks through the crowd. And with all these fireworks going off, the celebrations of New Year's Eve, they took the opportunity to surround these women, rob them, and in some cases, seriously sexually assault them.
Now, was this a certain group of people? How do you get 1,000 people rampaging? How do you do that?
Well, this was 1,000 men that gathered outside. It's a very big square. And what happened was these guys, according to the victims, peeled off into groups of between 3 and 20, surrounded women in either singularly or in groups of 2 or 3, interfered with them sexually, and took the opportunities to rob them. And
are they all Muslim men? Has that been established?
No, it has not been established. It has only been established that all the victims, and so far it is 118 in Cologne, say that they were of a North African or Arabic appearance and spoke Arabic or some other language, but not German.
Now, we hear over here in New York that the German media was reluctant to cover the story. Is that true?
I think it is true. I think the background to that is that, as you know, Germany has accepted in over 1 million people last year. There is a great strain on the social fabric in this country. There's no getting away from that. You probably see in America the numerous assaults, firebombs, other attacks on accommodation and on individuals. And I think I don't think it was a question of sweeping it under the carpet. I think it was a question of trying to get it right. Because at this stage, the authorities are still saying we don't think these people that committed these assaults are actually asylum seekers. They think they are people that have been in the country for a long time. And today there was a report from the city of Dusseldorf, which is only 30 miles down the road, that said that there has been a similar series of attacks over the last 15 months in Dusseldorf in the same manner from a group of men from Algeria and Morocco.
Interesting.
So it seems to be a new form of crime.
All right, and then, you know, public safety, obviously this is not going to go down well with the anti-immigrant forces in Germany. Mr. Hall, we appreciate it very much. And now, joining us from Washington, Fox News strategic analyst, Lieutenant Colonel Ralph Peters. Does this have a wider implication, Colonel?
Well, it certainly does. And there's just a firestorm in the German media now, especially online in the blogosphere, because the German position, having taken in immigrants over the years, and 1.1 million just last year from the Middle East and North Africa, has been that they're all innocent victims. Now, when a German of any standing tried to criticize that immigration policy, the media and the politicians would brand them a neo-Nazi automatically. And now there's a feeling from John Smith, Herr Meyer, the German man on the street, that, hey, this is what we've been talking about. Because what happened was about 1,000 guys organized in this flash mob create organized sexual assaults, at least 2 rapes in Cologne, about 50-plus attacks in Hamburg the same night, New Year's Eve, about 13 or more, 18, I think it is now, in Dusseldorf. And it's a shock to the Germans, because Germans, you know, it's Ordnung muss herrschen, there's got to be order. And that this could happen in Germany is unthinkable to them. And the first thing the authorities did was try to hush it up. And then they rushed out and said, they did an Obama. They said, well, you know, you can't assume they're Muslims, you can't assume this is sexual terrorism, blah, 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 blah. And the mayor of Cologne, who is super, you know, free immigration, open the borders, Henrietta Reker, she actually said within the last 24 hours that, well, what women have to do, German women just have to keep all strange men at arm's length. Pretty tough to do.
No,
and
that's
on top
ridiculous.
of that,
That's absurd.
they've got their Mardi Gras coming
Right.
up. Cologne is their New Orleans at Fasching time. And they're worried about that. This is a disaster. It may be a turning point in the German attitude toward immigration.
And do you think
big.
the press, the liberal press in Germany, and in Germany, like many other countries, the press is primarily left, is covering it up?
Well, I think they initially tried to play it way down. They had to report it, but they were plain vanilla reports. I read the German media just about every day. And now they're trying to ameliorate it, saying, well, we don't know this, we're not sure of that. But initial reports, interestingly, were that several men were arrested or taken into custody for questioning who were recent immigrants. That disappeared. Now we know 2 men are in custody, but the bottom line is this, Bill. Germany can't handle the wave of immigrants it's got, and the average German is furious.
Thank you, Colonel, as always.